I didn't really have a plan what I'm gonna do. And then I just got a call from my mom and she was like, German class starts at 14, be there. That's the beauty of dual studies. You don't have to worry about your internship, your thesis, or your project. You do everything with the company. As I always say, Germans are like an old car. You need to warm them up before they open up to you.
Welcome to Voices of Anhalt, where we are trying to make your voices heard. And by we, I'm referring to the international office, by you, to our international students, international alumni and experts and corporational partners. Welcome to our podcast.
And our guest today is Jihane. Hello, Jihane.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm Jihane. I'm from Morocco, Casablanca. Then I'm studying at the moment biotechnology at the University Anhalt. I've been in Germany around 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, I think 11 or 12. I stopped counting at some point.
You've reached honorary German level.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like I integrated enough.
So you said that you're from Morocco. How did you end up in Anhalt? That's always an interesting question because, we have students from all over the world.
That's a very good question. Well, my plan was never to come to Germany. That was more my brother's plans. He learned German in high school already. So after he finished high school, it made sense apparently for my parents to send him here. And after I was done with my high school, I didn't really have a plan what I'm going to do. And then I just got a call one time from my mom and she was like, your German class starts at 14, be there. And I was like, what? And she was like, your German class, you're going to Germany and you need to learn the language.
So you already started learning German in Morocco?
Yeah, because for Moroccans to be able to get the visum for Germany, you need to at least have B1 in Morocco finished to apply for the visum. You can just come here with no language. And I did the B1 and B2 in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little bit extensive. We had the German classes from Monday until Friday for 4 hours every day. One level was only 3 weeks long, and then you had your test, and then you went to the next level. And for B2, we were apparently really good that we did not need to do all 4 levels. Some of us already did B2 after 1 level, and I did it after 2.
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
It sounds like an intense time.
It is, because you're paying also for it. We did it at Goethe Institute because the language certificate was only good if you got it done at Goethe Institute. Otherwise, it was not acceptable for the visa application. So you had to go to Goethe Institute and learn the language there and stuff. And then your parents have spent so much money for you to learn this new language. So it is a little bit stressy. And
the expensive part was only to come, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you already pay so much money just for the language itself. And then you gotta apply for the visa. And then you gotta put the money in the bank account for your first year. It is a little bit expensive.
So I'm assuming that after you've learned German in Morocco, then you applied for the Studienkolleg here?
Yeah, exactly. And I applied for multiple ones around the country. I came and I did the exam. I forgot what it's called. It's the entrance exam for Studienkolleg. And I did it in multiple cities. I went to Kaiserslautern. I was in Köthen. I was in Augsburg, I think. It was multiple places. Yeah. And at the end, I chose Köthen because my brother did his Studienkolleg here and then he knew people. So it was much easier for me to just come here because it was easier for me to get a place at the Wohnheim. He had a friend here who helped me at the beginning with where Kaufland is and where everything is. So it made my life a little bit easier.
Personal connections are everything.
Definitely.
Was it clear for you that you wanted to become an engineer from the beginning?
Well, here is what happened.
Story time.
Before I came, my dad sat me down and was like, we don't have an engineer in the family, so that's your job.
For real?
Yeah, I'm not joking. I remember exactly how it happened.
And is that typical for Moroccan parents?
I would say so. Careers back in Morocco are lawyer, doctor, engineer, architect, maybe a nurse. Otherwise, maybe you do business if you push it.
So your parents had high expectations on
Really
you.
high. I mean, my dad has a bachelor's in philosophy and in economics, and my mom works for the royal family. They had a plan.
And do you feel like they're happy now with the situation?
Well, I decided to get chronically sick, and now they just want me to be healthy.
Shift the focus a bit.
Yeah, exactly. I messed up with the whole plan, kind of.
When you applied for the Studienkolleg and you came to Köthen,
Yes.
was that the first time that you came to Germany in general?
It was the first time I was on an airplane.
Okay, and your first impression of Köthen?
I mean, I was 19. I was excited. It was something new. Plus, I knew the language and I could have basic conversations with people, which already makes your life much easier when you can communicate with the people living there. And everything was something new and something exciting, just like Rossmann or DM. It's something new. Like the whole thing was great. Even though I gotta say, I spent a few weeks in München before I came to Köthen.
Culture shock number 1,
Yes.
culture shock number 2.
Usually very interesting because Germany, in comparison, is a rather small country, but we have lots of regional cultural differences.
Definitely. My brother lives in München, so
Yeah.
I was first in München while I was doing all of my exams for Studienkolleg until I got accepted in Köthen and decided to come here. And then I came here. It was already helpful that I found other Moroccans because the first year you always look for people who are from your country, your culture, just to get a little bit used to everything. You don't just completely want to sway away from the stuff that are known to you. I still liked it very much, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my year. And then I went back to München to work there for like 2 to 3 months full time. And
Okay.
that's when I got to fully immerse myself in the culture of München. And to be honest, I really liked Köthen much better. I wanted to come back.
Tell us about
That's
your
the
first working experience in Munich.
It was interesting because I was just looking for a full-time job in the summer. So you had to go to Zeitarbeit. Like you just have your CV with you and you're just giving it to everyone and you're just calling whoever you think is going to be able to give you a job. And I got lucky with this company. They were looking for people to work at a medicine producing company in the packaging department of the company, where you had to check the quality of the medicaments and if the whole packages were perfectly actually made. And then if they're not, you had to completely get rid of the defected packages, but you had to get rid of them in specific ways because it's a pharmacy company. So it was really interesting, which already gave me an overview if I'm going to do engineering, in which way I would like.
That was gonna be my question. Did that in any kind influence your
Definitely.
decision for
Yeah,
your study
definitely.
program?
I mean, just you're 19 and you're standing in front of this big machine that is just working 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it's just like you're seeing this going completely in this line, and then they get pressed, and then how it gets completely packaged, and then you're there and you get to see how the engineers work there, because if there is any little problems, you got to call the engineer right away and he got to come and try to fix it. It was really interesting to see how all of it worked. And that already I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do engineering, I would like to be something that I'm gonna have to use medicine or biology or pharmaceutical stuff in it. And that already gave me an overview in which way I would like to go study in one.
You mentioned that you found this position via a Zeitarbeitsfirma. Probably should tell our listeners about such companies that handle temporary work employment for students, but also for German
Yeah, there is a
people
few
who need-
available also in Magdeburg. My cousin is at the moment in Magdeburg and she got a job through one. They are very helpful when you're looking for a short time work or like work where your hours a week there. They are very helpful. I can only recommend.
And do they usually require a lot of German skills for these kind of jobs? Because normally I'm assuming these are more manual jobs where you don't need to communicate that much.
I mean, a little bit. Because you're gonna still have to talk with Germans and they have to explain to you what to do and why you have to do it that way. And most of Germans, either they're not confident in their English and they prefer not to use it whatsoever, even though I got to know that some of you really can speak English, you just refuse to speak it.
That's not us. We always speak English.
Yeah, and some just can't speak it. They would love to, they just can't. And Germans are much nicer when you speak to them in German.
So were you looking for positions, or did you specifically look for this temporary employment agency?
Just the temporary employment agency, because I was open to everything. I just needed work.
Okay, and was it recommended to you by someone, or did
By-
you actually look for it?
By students in Studienkolleg who were a semester higher than us. Because Moroccans usually always in the vacation time try to get work and work somewhere, and usually they go to NRW or Bayern, well, less than NRW, but mostly NRW. And that's how, like, year before us just explained to us what to do and where to apply and which words on Google to look for.
Let me get the timeline straight. This was after Studienkolleg has ended, but before you started your bachelor's.
Exactly.
So like in the break in between.
Yeah, exactly.
What made you choose? Because we have a Studienkolleg, but a lot of them, they choose to go to different cities to study. What made you stay?
Okay, here is the funny thing. I was gonna go to Darmstadt.
Okay.
I got accepted in Köthen, I got accepted in Magdeburg, and I got accepted in Darmstadt. And then I was looking for a place to stay in Darmstadt, but then class was gonna start at the time I was gonna go home for vacation. And I chose the vacation. So I was like, I'll just go to Magdeburg. Which was a great decision, I'm not gonna lie.
So you studied in Magdeburg first?
I was enrolled for my studies, but I had to finance my studies on my own. So my priority shifted to working more than studying. That's why I was more like enrolled by name at the university in Magdeburg and worked much more in call centers, which is also if you learned German, but your German is not perfect yet. A call center is perfect for it. You learn how to write emails. You gotta call people. Even though if I hated talking on the phone.
I can imagine.
I was a student aide in a call center.
Really?
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Exactly.
That would have, I mean, even as a German, that would have been my least favorite job.
I hate it. Not anymore. Now I can call everyone right away. Like the phobia just got kicked out of me.
What were you doing there? Like selling stuff on the phone?
No,
or?
I worked first for telecom. If your internet was not working, your phone is not working, you called us and I was the first one on the line to try to figure out what's wrong and try to solve the problem for you.
Tell me about this life, because I always wonder that, are people really yelling at these things and
yes.
getting really mad at you?
Yes.
Or is that just a stereotype?
Oh yes, they're mad. They're very mad. And it's amazing. One of my favorite calls was like, they call you a few hours before New Year's Eve that the internet is not working. And then if it's a problem that a technician gotta come out, he's gonna come out first after the holiday.
Yeah.
And they did not like that. Or they call you on a Friday evening. The internet is not working. You gotta send a technician out and you're like, he's gonna be there on Monday. And then I had a client on the phone telling me, what should I do? And I was like, read a book.
That's the perfect answer.
And then she's like, I'm gonna tell everyone that Telecom told me to read the book.
I once worked in the call center of an educational center, and we had to try to have companies answer our questionnaires about continued education. And this is where I learned to speak in my, say, telephone voice.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, after, 7 days of doing this nonstop, your ears are ringing and you have to fulfill the quota. And we didn't get our quota in Bavaria. So from first thing in the morning till late, we had to just call Bavarian companies. And at some point, someone yelled at me, we have better things to do. And now you call me with your sweet sounding voice and I don't know how to say no. And I'm like, please help me, I'm a student, please. It just takes 10 minutes of your time.
I was lucky because I have apparently a French accent when speaking German, and Germans really like it.
Okay.
And it calms them down.
Voices of Anhalt is a podcast produced by the International Office of Anhalt University of Applied Sciences. If you would like to find out more about the International Career Service or our FITTER project, please write an email to fitter@hs-anhalt.de. Talk to you soon. She knows German's better than we do.
No, I swear to God, they heard my language and like how I spoke and stuff, and then they just like were nicer. It was really interesting.
Okay, so you're working at the call center in Magdeburg, and then how long did it take you to switch to Anhalt and probably also move to Köthen, or
I
did
think
you?
7 years, because I worked first for telecom, then I switched to Bosch Smart Home, and then I was like, I actually need a degree. I can just keep on working.
Yeah.
This is not a plan long term. While thinking about it, I got sick. I had, first of all, to take care of my health and try to figure out, first of all, this whole new chapter of my life, how I'm gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
So that got stopped for 2 years because the first year I could not function whatsoever. I also didn't really work much. So after the 2 years, after like I was semi-stable, I was like, okay, we need a plan. I was looking online and then I saw that EDT was looking for a Werkstudent.
What is EDT?
It's a pharmaceutical companies and they are responsible for making multiple vaccines and medicines. It's a GMP company, and if people don't know what that is, it's a good manufacturing practice.
And they're based in Dessau, right?
And they are based in Dessau. And I know that I want a degree in the pharmaceutical sphere. I could just work at EDT for a whole year as a Werkstudent. I'm gonna earn less money, but I'm gonna earn experience. So I applied, got called for an interview, which worked perfectly. Then I got hired. And I got hired into the hygiene team in EDT Biologica, which was perfect because you never think that in a pharmaceutical company, yes, there is the whole processes, how to make the vaccines, how to make the medicine and everything. But there is cleaning procedures and cleaning protocols because it's an aseptic design company. Everything needs to be sterile. You never really think about what goes behind it. And it was interesting for almost a year that I got to work with. My boss was really amazing and sweet. She took me by the hand and showed me all the ropes. I am very grateful for her. It was really interesting just seeing hygiene team in EDT. I really enjoyed that year. I also was lucky because I sat down and talked to her and explained to her what my plan exactly is and what I want to do. It was
At this point, you were still enrolled in Magdeburg? Or?
Yes. Magdeburg, the university, it was just like for me, a back thing that was
Yeah.
there. Because of the visa, I couldn't just drop out.
Because I have a suspicion where this is leading. You're doing dual studies, right?
Exactly.
So how did you make that jump from being a Werkstudent to becoming a dual student?
Yeah, like I said, I explained to my boss what my plan is, that I'm looking for an Ausbildung because I can't pay for my study. I tried the whole financing my studies on my own and I couldn't do it. That's just not me. I need one thing to focus on. I can't juggle both of them. I can't work and then go study and then study back home. I can't do that. And with my health conditions, it's just too much stress for me. So I thought an Ausbildung would be the right way for me because they pay already for you. And then at the end, you have a degree and you can work and you're good. So I explained it to her. And she was like, wait, let me go and talk to her boss and see then which options do we have, because I know that EDT offers Ausbildungsplaces.
If you say Ausbildungsplaces, we should probably translate it into vocational training
Yes.
It's
connected
called
to
vocational
studying.
Or
training?
apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we should probably explain what Ausbildung means.
Yeah, because Germany has a kind of structured educational system. If you, after high school, go to university, this is the higher educational level. Then there is a middle school certificate where you leave after grade 10. And then you normally do a 3 years apprenticeship in a vocational job.
Which you can also do after you finish in high school.
You can, but most people have different tracks. So you decided that an apprenticeship would be the way to go.
Financially, yeah.
By the way, you were here in Germany with a regular student residence permit?
Yes, and
How did you manage to get the blocked account full?
I don't know how to say this. I got lucky because I have my brother here, so he did.
I had a sponsorship.
I had a sponsorship and I got the money for the first year. My mom just gave my brother the money and was like, you can send her every month, however, how much. I think.
Yeah.
And he worked here, so he had stable income.
Exactly. I got lucky with the visa. I didn't have to have much worries about the money because of the sponsorship.
But you had to worry about the money because you needed it for
living.
for living.
Yeah, and then I had a sit down with the boss of my boss, and she explained to me that EDT also offers the dual studies if I am more interested in actually studying and not the apprenticeship. And she explained to me what the difference is and how much you would earn with each one and what are your possibilities with each one and everything. And she gave me the weekend to sit down with all the information she provided for me and make a decision.
Maybe you can give our listeners a short overview. What's the difference between a regular study program and a dual study program?
Okay, the difference was with the dual studies, first of all, you're going to have a bachelor. Plus, you spend most of the time at the university here and you only work in the company when you have your vacation.
Ah, okay. So you don't have to switch like every 3 months or so.
No, you don't, which is... For Germany, all in all, that's not the usual system for dual studies because usually you have 3 months university, 3 months work, and then you keep on switching between it. But at EDT Biologica, they have the system of you are studying at the university, that's why you don't have to do anything for work. And then when you have your vacation, which is at the end of each semester, you come and you work. And you have 20 vacation days that you are only allowed to take when you are at work.
I think most of our study programs that are dual are currently offered in this way, so that you join your fellow students in the regular programs during the semester and during the semester break. So except probably for the examination period.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on your luck with the company. I got very lucky. EDT offered me that every 2 weeks when I have my exams, I get them free. I don't have to take vacations for it, but I also have a colleague with me who's working in another company and he has to take vacations for the exams days. And it's very stressful because the company is not even in Sachsen-Anhalt. It's in Thüringen.
Are you the only dual student at EDT Biologica?
From my year, yes, but there are people in a year after me and before me.
What is the benefit?
The benefit for me personally is I don't have to worry about money whatsoever because I'm getting paid.
And this is sort of a Ausbildungsvergütung, so like a scholarship?
It's less than the apprenticeship, but I think it's 100, 200 less than the apprenticeship.
Do you have to pay taxes on it?
Not taxes, but...
Social security contributions?
Exactly, which I have no problem doing. I've been paying them for like more than 10 years now.
Now you have to tell our students out there that the crucial factor that you're getting paid during your studies as well. It's not only for the periods that you're working.
It's the 12 months of the year. It's great. And when you are at work, you're also gathering so much experiences in different departments in the company itself that your CV looks good after you're done with your bachelor's. So if you decide to just go working after your bachelor's, you can get a job. It's going to be easier for you because you already know how the whole company works. You know how it's going in the pharmaceutical field. It's not something new. And if the company decides to take you over, which most of the time they do.
That's a good point.
You don't have to look for a job and they don't have to train you because they already trained you.
Because most companies in this kind of study field, they're doing dual studies, they have a clause that you have to stay after your graduation for a defined
It depends on the
period.
company. With EDT, it's 2 years, which I'm very grateful for because it already saves me the whole stress of finding a job when you're done, specifically because I know I don't want to do a master's. I just want to finish my bachelor's and go earn money.
So you're getting paid during your studies and you have your job secured after your studies.
Exactly.
Sounds like a very good deal to me.
It's the best case scenario in my opinion because I keep on always saying this, studying is a privilege and not everyone can afford it. Even if Köthen is a cheap city, and it is affordable to live here and everything, but still trying to work 20 hours a week, every week, to try to figure out how you're going to pay all your bills, plus studying, plus doing all your laboratory exercises, plus doing all of the work when you're home. It's very tiring. Some people can do it. Good for them. I'm not one of them.
And it automatically gets the foreigner's office off your back, right? If you have a job secured already.
Yeah, kind of.
So now tell us what you do at EDT. Like, can you describe your job and the field that you're working in?
At the moment, I'm working the downstream process of the pharmaceutical. I get to watch multiple processes that goes around in the making of vaccines. You get to see how you can use just like a bacteria or a virus and how you can use it specifically to make a specific vaccine, and the whole process is really interesting. Plus, there is all the European laws that go into it because, like I said, it's a game pay company. So there is specific laws that you need to follow from your country, from Europe, and also the countries where you're sending the medication you're making or the vaccine you're making to.
So there's also a lot of bureaucracy involved?
So much. There is a lot of rules you need to follow. There is what you also learn here at the university. We have a game pay class with Professor Prise, and he explains all of the rules to you. So even if you're now working, you already have an idea how is it gonna look. So even if you're going for an interview and they're like, have you ever heard of game pay? You're like, I did. It was at the lecture.
But you have hands-on experience.
Exactly. The last time I was there, I got to help with a change control process, which is when the process is going beautifully, but then you just need to exchange one machine with another one. And it's not like you can just take this machine away and just put this new one in. There is so many steps before you get to it, and it's a whole year thing, and there is so many meetings. First of all, with the clients. First of all, the client needs to decide which new machine needs to come in. You need to get the machine and do so many new tries on it and collect so much data for the client, and that's where statistics go in.
Yeah. But that also means that when you're trying to get into this work, it takes a long time to adapt.
Exactly.
Which in return means that you're harder to replace as an employee, right? Because it's a very high level job. Like, it requires a lot of experience.
It does require a lot of experience. And it's also, like I said, there is so many departments. I am personally interested in the quality control department. It's just really interesting seeing every department what it does and how each one is connected to each other, because communication is very, very important. And they have to keep track of everything that's happening between them. Otherwise, it's chaos, and it's beautiful to watch.
There's a lot of confidentiality agreement things like included in this job, right?
Definitely.
And when you started out at EDT, did you ever face any like challenges getting adapted to the way Germans work in this kind of field? Do you remember your first day?
First day, I do. But like I said, I got lucky with my boss. She was very patient, very lovely. She had patience for me. So whenever I had a question, I could just go and ask, and I didn't have to feel ashamed or humiliated that like I don't know this specific thing. She was very helpful. So I got lucky in that regard, that she was very supportive.
And are they able to help you or support you when your health needs special support?
I am very lucky with the company and with my boss at the moment. They know when I'm sick. They know when I need a little bit of a break, and they are very supportive.
Voices of Anhalt. Voices of Anhalt. So right now you're in which semester? The You're almost done, right?
I'm almost done.
Let's call it the final one.
The final one,
Hopefully.
yes. You don't have to give us any numbers.
It's like asking what a woman what her age is.
You told us already.
That means you're about to write your bachelor thesis. I'm assuming that EDT plays a role in deciding the topic.
That's the beauty of the dual studies is you don't have to worry about your internship semester or about your thesis or your project. You have to do everything with the company. So they are responsible for finding a subject for you, for helping you and supporting you through it.
Sounds like very attractive to students.
I can only recommend it. First of all, it helps with exercising your German because you have to talk German to everyone. So if you have your B1, B2, it's great because in my opinion, you can only make your German better if you work.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna suck at the beginning and it's gonna be bad at the beginning and you're gonna forget words and the grammar is gonna be a catastrophe. But who cares?
So take us through the application process. At the time of the application, you had what kind of German level? Like a B1, B2?
Which
You should have
application?
C1 at least.
Which application? I applied
For the
to so
dual
many.
studies. Because the reason I'm asking is students are always interested in how to apply for this kind of job.
Yeah,
And
but at that time I was, already 8 years in Germany?
So for students who join the preparatory college and want to look out for such dual studying opportunities, they need to check programs and first of all university who offer dual
Yeah.
programs, and then they need to see what partner companies are running those programs, and then they can apply with the company.
And just apply to all of them. The worst they can do is say no.
And usually you also have advisors for dual studies. You could also reach out to those, whether this is a good fit. But especially in economics and in the STEM fields, you can find companies who are willing to do this. Mostly if you have German knowledge. I think that if you go further into big cities, you might be fine. Oh, I'm not sure, dual studies in English.
must, in this case, be like a very international company like VW or Bosch or something. They sometimes offer parts in English, but
I wonder
it's
if
rather rare.
Currently at our university, this is focused on German taught programs. So
Yeah.
it's interesting for students who are currently enrolled in a preparatory college.
I mean, my advice would be for the master students, maybe if they already know during their bachelor's that they want to do their master's here, that they already start learning German instead of just coming as a white page with no word whatsoever. Even if they do just a few levels, they don't have to finish B1 back at home, but even if they just do a few levels, that when they come here, they can just have the little conversations with Germans, that's already a big help. I find that also culturally, if you want to properly integrate in the society, you need to learn the language. As I always say, Germans are like an old car.
Oh no.
That's a nice comparison.
You need to warm them up before they open up to you.
Okay.
And for them to open up to you, the start is the language. Because the moment that they hear you are trying to speak German to them, they get much nicer, at least from experience. You guys turn very friendly because you're like, you're trying.
Please struggle for me. Then I'll
little
talk to
bit.
you in
Kind
a
of.
friendly voice.
Kind of.
What do you think is the biggest difference between Moroccans and Germans? Maybe in the workplace, maybe in general.
No, I'm thinking about how to say this politically
Nicely.
correct.
You don't have to be politically correct.
Okay, Moroccans are warmer
Okay.
and more guest-friendly.
Okay.
Welcoming.
And more welcoming than you. Like in Morocco, because we are a touristic country,
Yeah.
so if you come to us, we're probably gonna know 1 or 2 words from your language. And then we're gonna try with hands, with feet, however it is, to communicate with
To
you.
sell you something.
Definitely. They are gonna try to sell you stuff. I can't help you there. It is what it is. You're coming with your euros. But Germans are, you are a little bit cold.
I can't deny that.
Is that Germany as a whole? Is that Saxony-Anhalt?
I was in Stuttgart with a friend. She's German. And then an old lady smiled at me. And I was surprised and shocked. And then I turned to my friend and I was like, she smiled at me. And she was like, she did not smile at you. Germans don't smile. We don't smile. You're just imagining stuff. But then she smiled at her. And then we were both super excited that a white old lady smiled at us. And this just happened last year. Again, I've been in Germany for like 11 years.
You can get the total opposite. You can get the grumpy old ladies.
That's all I've been getting.
Tell us about the grumpy old ladies.
First of all, you guys stare a lot. And I don't
That always sounds so stereotypical. I never
you do
noticed that.
Yeah, because you don't have, which is another thing. When I'm out, I have all my senses on alert because I'm a woman and I'm brown. You don't maybe notice it because you're just enjoying life. But you guys stare a lot. Do you know with how many white people I had to hold eye contact? Because I was like, at some point, do you need something? And then I also got stalked by a white lady that came to the university looking for me, so...
Yeah. I remember that.
You were talking very loud at a bakery.
How dare I?
you?
To be honest, even though, in my defense, that was actually my work voice. I was not at all volume.
So maybe for enjoyment of the audience, sometimes people will come to the international office and tell us, one of your students was very noisy in the bakery. Please tell them to lower their voice and to behave as Germans do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the first time, but it was one of the funniest times.
Yes, and it's the most German thing ever to go somewhere and complain about the behavior of other people.
Of our students, they belong to you. You need to make them behave and educate them on how to behave.
Parents.
Sometimes it feels like it.
And you guys haven't raised us well. You're not doing a good job.
I'm sorry, so many intercultural
swear to
trainings.
God,
When
you're
do you learn
failing.
how to use your room voice?
But you also have other stereotypes that I feel they are not correct whatsoever.
Okay, shoot.
They say you're not funny. You are funny. It's just you need time for your humor to kind of just like show up.
See, that's what I always said. No one ever gets my humor.
Because you have old grandpa humor.
You do.
I'm sorry.
And it's okay.
Thank you.
No, or that you guys are not stylish, which is false.
I'm sorry.
Which is false. You guys have fashion. Dortmund is the fashion city of Germany.
Really?
Yes. Wow, I am telling you this? Okay.
See, you're the better German.
Kind of.
We don't get out enough, Florian.
You should. What else? That you guys are very punctual. That's the biggest lie there is. You're
Come
not
on.
punctual. Look,
Come
I'm
on.
married to a German. He's not punctual whatsoever. I'm punctual because my mom was in the military. Before the time is not the time, and after the time is not the time anymore. If it's 8,
I
it's
feel
8.
hurt now. I take pride in my
husband
punctuality.
wait until 10 minutes before we have to go out, and then he has a list of stuff that he has to do.
But I'm not sure if this is a representative study, your husband.
From my experience with fellow Germans, you're not punctual. Some of you are, but that does not make the rule.
Interesting to hear that.
Plus, should we talk about the Deutsche Bahn?
Oh,
I think we've done 5 episodes now, and you're the 5th person to talk about and complain about Deutsche Bahn.
Hey, I don't complain about it. I'm chill. The day I'm gonna travel is like, I have nothing to do today. However long it's gonna take, it's gonna take. There is no reason to get mad.
I would love to have this kind of chillness.
Plus, when it's longer than 1 hour, you can ask for your money back.
take note, audience.
Yeah, and then it depends on how long was the delay. You get a percentage of your money back.
And that's not the case in Morocco?
No. But the trains are more punctual, but if they're not punctual, you're not getting your money back. So you win some, you lose some. You can't have everything.
Voices of Anhalt. Okay, now that we have the Deutsche Bahn hate out of the way, we have a section in our podcast where we do some fun questions.
Okay.
And I would love to do them now. The first one is what we call the superpower question. Mm-hmm. If you could have any superpower to help you with your work, what would it be and how would you use it in a typical workday?
I would like to have a photogenic memory
And why?
because I am very forgetful.
Are you?
I just want to read a science book and just remember everything. Because sometimes I'm also sitting at the exam and I'm like, I remember the page where this was on.
And you don't see a picture.
Yeah, but I don't remember what was written on it just specifically, so I can write this on my paper, but I know which page it was on. Yeah, photogenic memory. Or reading minds.
Reading minds, oh, that's interesting.
No, please no.
But this can get very disappointing very fast because if you can read people's mind, you can hear or read about what they really think about you.
Yeah,
Would you?
okay.
Or hear
would
the
you-
dumb ones who don't think at all.
Could be, but I think more if you ask a professor or your boss about something and they don't want to tell you, but they're gonna probably think it.
So you can find out people's true intentions. A useful weapon in the workplace.
What's the maximum salary I could ask for?
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, please don't ask for this, please don't ask for this. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Second question would be what we call the music to work by. Do you have a go-to playlist or song that you use to zone out when you're working, or are you even allowed to listen to music?
If you are at the office and working on your laptop, you can listen to music. I'm usually listen to podcasts because I just need noise at the background
Yeah.
for me to keep on working. I'm not really listening to the podcast, but I just like the noise.
Please put on our podcast in the future
Okay.
so we get some.
Yes, we need to
listeners.
generate clicks.
Okay. When I'm working next time, I'll put you on.
Can you give us like a percentage of how much of your workday is like working in an office and how much is like real lab work?
50-50.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I'm there to help whatever they need me for, which means I go to work and then I could get a task where I'm gonna have to look for the manuals of a long list from machines that I need to find online because we can't find them anywhere. Or I have to go down to the lab because they want to prepare some experiments they want to make and they need someone to help them prepare everything for it. I'm there open for everything. I say yes to everything and then I just do whatever they tell me to do.
The third question is we call the career and life movie moment. If a movie was made about your life in Germany, what genre would it be and who would play you in the leading role? You can't see that, audience, but she's laughing.
Okay.
Jihane's life in Germany, starring.
Zendaya.
Definitely. Oh, I love her so much. She's my favorite. That was
So
perfect.
icy.
Yeah. Just because we're brown.
No, your lovely hair.
Now, I feel like the uneducated. Who's she? Like,
Oh no, Florian. See, there we go. Old people.
No wonder.
You're so old.
can you give me a movie she played in?
Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man?
The drama. Dune.
She's the okay.
She's the rebel. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm really disappointed in you, Florian. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm the bad guy again. Thank
No,
you
you're
for
very
that.
old. You just aged yourself by 20 years at least.
I know. Okay. Movie genre drama, to be honest.
Okay, interesting. And more of a political drama, romance drama,
Oh no, more of a hell drama.
hell drama.
That's pretty much it. It's just
And
yeah,
that's because
she's
you
sick
work in.
again.
Ah, okay.
Plus, I'm working in the pharmaceutical department.
Do you have any recommendations or tips you could provide us for students who are also dealing with health issues?
I found having a support system is one of the most important things you're gonna need. And having friends that are studying the same thing as you or making friends in your study program. Because I have so many days when I can't come to the university because I woke up that day and I was not feeling good whatsoever and I had to stay home. And then you have your colleagues or your friends and they write everything for you and they keep track of everything for you. So, and then they send you everything you need. So even though you missed the day, you still have all of the notes and all of the information you're gonna need.
So, in the last Senate, maybe that's interesting, we put in a resolution for how students can not just apply for vacation semesters, but if they need specific support with examinations, like more time or more flexibility. There are certain people who can help you with that, but
Yeah.
now basically through the Senate of the university, we made it official how to get this so-called Nachteilsausgleich, like who to address and who to talk to, and the examination council can grant this. And there are also guidelines or examples of, for example, you have this condition, then those are your options. And if you have those needs, then this is how we can accommodate you. I hope that through these guidelines, maybe awareness is raised and students know that they are allowed to ask for special treatment and support. And then I would hope, because our examination councils, they reported that they have maybe in one department 4 to 5 cases per year. And I would assume that our students are representative of our society, and I would guess that much more students are affected by health issues and need support. And I hope that becomes clear that you can ask for help and a little adjustment of the regulations.
Would be nice to know where to find all of this information, because I'm almost done with my studies.
I know
and
it will be
nothing about this.
It will be put online very soon, and I will ask Florian to put it in the description box. I hope that students will seek out this kind of support.
Because I would love to use it for this semester then, if it's available.
See, we learn something new every day.
Exactly. You learned that Darmstadt is the fashion city of
Didn't
Germany.
you say Dortmund?
Dortmund, I apologize. They both started
At
B.
least now you were
And
listening.
it's like, yeah, I wanted to see if you were keeping
Yes,
up.
of course.
And I learned that there is an actual thing to help, because so far I've just been cruising by.
If you had to recap your time in Germany, you said that it's in total about 12 years now. What's the best thing about Germany, and one thing that you would like to say to the Germans that they should stop doing?
Best thing is human rights, your health insurance.
Health insurance. Tell
Which
us.
I know you guys keep on complaining about. I've heard Germans complaining about. And
You're referring to our healthcare system, basically. Yes.
and I am the biggest fan. Teka called me once to ask if I was satisfied with the service, and I was like, I am more than satisfied.
But to be honest, while you're a student, this is a good thing to talk about. But you have to also explain to the audience out there that once they get their first real job, 18% of their salary will go to the health insurance. So
I thought
Yes.
it was more like 15.8% or 16%.
there's different elements to that when we have a so-called Zusatzbeitrag. But yes,
Yes,
a
but
sizable
that's-
portion of your salary.
But that's the price you pay for living in a social country.
Compared to the US, where you can
Yes.
be in debt for the rest of your life.
I'll prefer,
one
first of all,
emergency.
you're healthy as long as you stay healthy. And then the moment you're sick, that's when you're gonna actually appreciate the fact that you paid in it. And we are
Exactly.
all gonna get sick at some point.
That's what I always tell the students in my workshops about the social security system, that at some point you will need it, and then you will be happy that you have it instead
Definitely.
of paying out of pocket.
Definitely. I mean, look, I get MRIs, I get my medicament at the moment costs 20,000
No way.
euros. No, wait.
Per
that's-
year?
wait.
Per month?
It was 2,000 no, that's 10,000. And it's per year because I just switched my therapy. And it's 5 pills and 5 pills. That's 10 pills for the whole year, 2,000
Wow.
euros per pill.
Wow.
And I pay 20 euros.
And now imagine what you would have to pay in the US for this.
How much I would have had to pay in Morocco. You don't have to go all the way to the US. At the moment, MS patients back in Morocco, their most problem is getting the medicine itself because it's so expensive. 10,000 euros in Germany is 100,000 dirhams back home.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna be able to afford that unless your family is really, really rich.
From my point of view, I always feel like that the community of special needs people or of people who have special challenges due to health issues, they are the only ones always taking in new members, and it's just a matter of time when you will need support. And I'm very glad that we have.
I am in a really good position where I lived in Morocco and I lived in Germany, and I can see the difference between the two countries, and I can see the multiple great things that are in Germany that you guys take for granted because you grew up with it. This is your norm, and you criticize it as you should, but you're not appreciative about it as we are.
Yes,
Because
I can imagine that.
we
Yeah, that's true.
know how it could be, and it could be much worse.
You know, we have a saying in German, we call that Jammern auf hohem Niveau.
Yeah, which is, by the way, it's a stereotype and it's kind of true about you guys. I'm sorry, but you guys complain a lot.
Complaining on a high
Our
level.
national sport.
It is your national. I say it's in your DNA. You can't do anything about it. It is who you are. Because I can also see it when I am with my husband and his family for Christmas or Easter, and then you're sitting there and they're all complaining about something, and I just find it hilarious.
That's why I enjoy working with international people, because yes, Germans tend to complain, and even if we've just finished something great and it's behind us and we should all pat our shoulders and be happy, the first thing we do is analyze what went wrong and what to do better next time.
Yeah, it's a very negative look on life.
We should all not forget that at the moment, in the whole world, Germany is one of the best countries.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I
some
concur.
of you guys don't see it that way because you
We have
were
guilt.
born here.
We have guilt.
You need to move on.
I have guilt.
You were born here, you grew up with it, so you can't really see it from a neutral way. But again, at the moment, Germany doesn't change the fact that it is one of the best countries to live at the moment in the world. I can see it also from my German friends because I make them hang out with my international friends. And then when they hear that with some of the international students that Germany has always been a dream for them. And then my German friends cannot comprehend that Germany can be the dream of
German
anyone.
dream. Better than the American dream. At least.
You told us about your German dream. Tell us something about Germany that you would like to get rid of or that annoys you about Germany.
If they
Except the complaining.
smile more, which is weird coming from because women keep on getting told that they should smile more, but
you can tell it to Florian. It's fine.
Florian, smile more. No, just it
Chill.
doesn't hurt to just be friendly and just to smile at people, because I've heard so many of you saying that it's fake, and I don't want to be fake, but it's not fake. It's just you being friendly. It doesn't hurt anyone. Who cares if it's fake?
Okay.
You just made someone's day because you smiled.
Good point. If you see yourself 5 years in the future,
Yes.
if you ask your future self, what would you recommend your younger self to change or to do? And is there any fond memory you see on the horizon, looking back at your time in Köthen?
To be more positive. I am a little bit realistically pessimistic.
Have you always been like that, or did
got it from my
Germany
dad.
made you like this?
I got it from my dad. It runs in the family. I think
Genetic
just-
condition.
Yeah, I can't help it. But I think just being a little bit more positive. Plus, one of the best things that I am very thankful during my study period here is the people I got to know and the friendships that I actually gathered here, because at the moment they're some of the most important people in my life, and they've been amazing and supportive, and I don't think I could have been able to finish my program studies without them.
Is there anything that you would recommend to students who would like to start out in a dual study program? What do you think was your success factor?
That I'm just open to do everything. Even if I don't know it, I just ask. I prefer to ask, even if they think I'm stupid, that's their own business. It's not my business. I'm going to add, because I prefer to ask you as many questions and figure out what you want exactly for me before I start working on it, than just go in and try to do it on my own, and then it's completely different from what you wanted. Plus, to make sure that we're communicating properly with each other, because at the end of the day, German is not my first language, and I still struggle with it from time to time. So I might understand you completely differently. So I just ask a lot of questions, and it doesn't hurt. And what they think about you is not your business.
We always ask our podcast guests, do you have any questions for us?
Have you actually had success or had international students apply for the dual studies and actually get it?
We have more than one international dual student. That's true. We are currently working on getting new companies to actually just offer placement for international students. Florian has a meeting, I believe, tomorrow, if I'm not incorrect.
Yes.
He will visit with a company that actually is open to getting preparatory college students. So our track record is not the best, but it's something where we're hopeful to have students open to this and have companies open to accepting international students. Currently, we're very optimistic that we can find companies who are willing to take on international students.
That sounds great.
I think in the economics department, they are quite flexible.
Yeah.
Bigger companies are flexible. Of course, you always have to look at what nationalities they're willing to take on, but that's company decisions.
Yes.
And
A big factor is the language knowledge. So if you know German to a certain extent, it will make your life easier here finding a placement like that. So
Yeah.
it all comes down to your German knowledge.
but tomorrow you're meeting with a company from STEM.
Yes.
Yeah, STEM fields. So we're hopeful that in the future we can actually target the preparatory college students as a group
Yeah.
and offer this to them proactively, so they don't have to go searching online, but it's in our interest. Germany has about, I think, 20 state preparatory colleges, and we want to make sure that our preparatory college alumni actually join us, our university. And I think one of the easiest ways to do this is to get them to join one of our dual programs. And that's why we're really onto this subject. And I hope today we could illustrate with you what the benefits are.
Yeah. I always find it funny/ironic that I started with Köthen and then I ended up going back to Köthen. And I was thinking, it's like, I came back
It's
home.
called destiny.
Yeah, no, I was like, I came back home.
What was the Lord of the Rings? On a journey there and back again?
Yeah,
By Bilbo
exactly.
Baggins? Your journey there and back again.
That's a nice way to end the podcast. Jihane, thank you so much for being here today. It was very insightful hearing your story and your way through the dual studies. And we'd love to stay in touch.
We keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank
We
you.
hope you have a good examination at the end. We hope you rock your thesis and that you have a good start at the company and that you start out successful, but the most important thing, health and how dealing with health, and that you find a way that makes you happy. in
Thank
life.
you. And it was lovely meeting both of you.
Voices of Anhalt. Voices of Anhalt is a podcast produced by the International Office of Anhalt University of Applied Sciences. If you would like to find out more about the International Career Service or our FITTER project, please write an email to fitter@hs-anhalt.de. Talk to you soon.